Hey, what's up, Bills Mafia? Welcome to episode 13 of Bills of BK. The Buffalo Bills are officially AFC East champions for the fourth year in a row. To think how far we've come from when we were 6-6 and the Dolphins were 97% favored to win the AFC East. We were 3% favored, and then we proceeded to win 5 games in a row, in which last week we beat the Dolphins at their own stadium. What a roller coaster of emotions. It was the true Josh Allen experience. But hey, it wouldn't be a Bills game without being a roller coaster. For starters, we marched down the field at ease. Offense was firing on all cylinders. And Josh Allen throws an interception in the red zone on a miscommunication with Gabe Davis. And I don't know what it is with these guys, but we have got to get these two on the same page. I mean, after we lost in that Eagles overtime game, you would think that after that, Josh and Gabe would get together and say, hey, we got to get on the same page, man. Let's do a little one-on-one work with each other after practice, an extra 20 minutes just to run routes and just to have Josh Allen be completely aware of what Gabriel Davis is doing on every play so they can just be on the same page, because this seems to be a pattern with these two, and they're both just too good of athletes to have these miscommunications. Then the second interception, I don't think was as bad because it just seemed like Gabriel Davis tripped, and that happens, right? The first thing that you thought on that play was it looked like Josh Allen could have dumped it off to the left to Kincaid, but then he decided to look down the field and try to find the touchdown. And had Gabriel Davis not tripped, that probably would have been a touchdown, and we probably would have had a whole different narrative now. We'd be all saying, wow, look at Josh Allen. He did something incredible. But unfortunately, he tripped, and that happened, and that was interception number 2. So that one wasn't as big of a deal. And then the third turnover of the day was on a Josh Allen fumble, but that I really don't put on him because it just seemed like Osiris Torrance got beat off the line, defender came through, was in Josh Allen's face, got the sack, and then he made a hell of a defensive play when he basically just took the ball from Josh Allen. There's nothing really I think Josh Allen could have done there. So I don't put that turnover on him. Really, the only bad one was the first one where him and Gabe were just not on the same page. And again, these guys just need to spend a little extra time, go through the plays together, get on the same page. So this does not happen. But otherwise, I felt like the Bills played really good overall. I mean, our defense only allowed the Dolphins to score 14 points in the day. After halftime, they did not let the Dolphins score at all. A really strong showcasing from our defense once again. Hopefully Rasul Douglas is okay. He did have an injury that took him out of the game halfway through, so hopefully we get him back this Sunday. But honestly, beating the Dolphins last week was our easiest path to the Super Bowl, because now we get to play the Steelers at home. We should have no problem beating these guys. But seeing how we tend to play down to our competition, I don't take any games for granted. You know, you got to just focus on the games in front of you and not get too cocky, not get too confident. We just got to stick to our game plan. But, you know, knock on wood, we should have no problem beating these guys this Sunday and moving on to the next round. A very winnable game. Then if we win that game, the next week we would play the Browns or the Texans, depending on who wins in that matchup. But those are both very winnable games as well. I have a feeling it's going to be the Texans. I think with C.J. Stroud back in the mix, I think that he'll be able to take down the Browns. So with any luck, it'll be Bills-Texans next week or Bills-Browns, because I don't mind playing either of those teams, frankly. But really, the biggest momentum change for us was the 96-yard Deontay Hardy punt return for the touchdown. That was when the momentum shift and probably won us the game, to be honest, because before that happened, we were losing 14-7. Then Deontay Hardy comes back with a 96-yard punt return touchdown, the longest punt return in the history of the Buffalo Bills. So bravo to Deontay Hardy for making that happen and giving us that momentum shift that we needed so badly. And then after that, it just seemed like when the momentum was in our favor, we just ran with it. And then Josh Allen marched down the field, scored the touchdown to Dawson Knox, putting us up 21-14 and able to win. But it was great to see Stephon Diggs get back in the rhythm of things. He had an 87-yard day. He had a really good catch from Josh Allen later in the day where he came down with a ridiculous catch. One of those things where you watch the replay and you're like, how did he make that catch? It just shows you that Stephon Diggs is that dude, and he's still very important to our offense. Gabriel Davis did end up getting hurt during the game, and the only plus side of that was that we did get to unleash Shakir more. He had 105 yards in the day. That's one thing I will say about Shakir is he makes the most out of his opportunities. And when he gets more opportunities, he gets these catches where he gets a bunch of yards after the catch, and he really just maximizes his targets. He really does what he can to make the most out of the touches that he does get. It was awesome to see him get a little more action with Gabriel Davis out. Also, Kincaid had a great game. He had around 80 yards as well. So really most of the guys in our offense did have a strong showcase. Gabriel Davis just got hurt before he really could. It was a slower day for James Cook, who couldn't really get anything going on the ground, but that's just playing a good run D. Miami Dolphins have done that to a bunch of running backs this year, so I'm not too concerned about James Cook not having the most productive day. That's just James Cook going against a good run D, honestly. The narrative on this game is going to be that Buffalo played sloppy and Josh Allen had 3 turnovers and we shouldn't have won the game, but hey, end of the day, we did what we had to do to turn things around and win the game. And Josh Allen had a shaky first half, but he had a really good second half. To have 3 turnovers in a game and still manage to win is impressive, no matter how you look at it. So we just got to dial things in more. Hopefully this week against the Steelers, we really just have a great game and we smash them like we should. And we really just need to prove to the NFL that we can have these sound games where we just play well the whole way through and we put teams away that we should be putting away. There's no reason this should be a close game. We're 10-point favorites at home. And honestly, Steelers are probably the weakest team in the playoffs right now. So we got really lucky that we get to play them first. It seems like they kind of snuck their way into the playoffs, so we should have no problem taking them out. But knock on wood, any given Sunday, you got to give it your all every week and just focus on the game plan and just focus on who's in front of you. At the end of the day, it feels great to be AFC East champions, especially with how our season went. It was very rocky, but this is the 4th time we've done this in a row. So at this point, we want to win the Super Bowl, The goal is to go to the Super Bowl. This was a great way to start off the playoffs. Really, the only scary team to me in the AFC is the Ravens. So we'll see if we have to end up facing them down the road. But if we do, I think that if we play our game and we just play sound football, we definitely have a shot at beating them. Like I've said in previous episodes, the Buffalo Bills can walk on the field with any given team and they can beat them. It just depends on how sound our game is that day. If we play like we played against the Dallas Cowboys, we can beat any team in the NFL. Hopefully we get everybody who got hurt last game back on Sunday. Like I said earlier, I don't think we're going to have Gabriel Davis. Hopefully we do have Rasul Douglas. A couple of our other guys on secondary did rest in practice today and didn't practice. So hopefully we get these guys all healed up and ready for Sunday. But this is it, guys. It's playoffs. I got my playoff jersey on. Going to be wearing these for the rest of these episodes in the postseason. But let's get after it, guys. Let's win one game at a time. Let's show the NFL who we are. We got the Steelers in front of us this Sunday at home. It's going to be a good one. I got a good feeling about it. I think we're going to be playing great. I think that Josh Allen is going to dial it in, and hopefully we got it out of our system all year long with having these close games. And at the end of the day, 5 games in a row we've won. Doesn't matter how we did it, and we just need to keep winning. But that's all I got for you guys this week. I'll see you next week. Go Bills.